Welcome back to Case Closed, Anime Review, episode 75. I'm thinking episode 75, wow. Two anime review series do it in a very short span of time. Yeah, that's quite something, though, for this series to hit this far. It's only the fourth anime review series to hit this number. Of course, the first one was Boruto, second one was One Piece, third was Black Clover, and this is the fourth. Good job, Case Close, hitting this far. This is reviewing the 974th episode of the anime. Target is the Metropolitan Traffic Department. Yeah, exactly. The target is the police department. This is part 4 of this story, and the conclusion. This one just adapts chapter 1017. Yep, one full chapter. This episode. And there's some changes to it. Very minor changes. So they do make some wording changes to this thing. And they expand some stuff visually, but mostly put, it's a pretty good episode. Episode pretty much begins off where last episode, where now they actually do add one thing here, one minor thing, which I do appreciate. Actually, a couple things. What I do add, because it's really quick. And basically, first part of the episode is basically Conan and Kayla trying to figure out where Nico is. Yeah, trying to figure out where she is. She looks like she's in some auditorium someplace. And they talk to... They do make one other change here I won't mention here. Now, when Conan is talking to Keba, talking to Sato, who Keba's Bluetooth, he kind of in a way pulls him down a bit so he can talk to the Bluetooth. And as far as I know... Yeah, this didn't happen in manga. This is complete anime original for him to do this. And talking about the 7155, confirming the police department, and basically Yumi's number. Yep. And they talk about basically... Now, the culprit, I'm going to reveal his name is Ano-san. His name is Ano. Yeah. They reveal it because of the traffic signs. Because no parking, and they translate, they're like, no, basically, no. Yep, that's who the culprit is. And they actually do add something here, which is actually not here in the manga. I actually checked it. When they show his face, it happens right after he takes off his hat, his wig, yeah, he's wearing a wig, and his surgical mask he was wearing. Which, in the manga, they never showed us at all. It's his thing is off. Yep. Oh, and the one thing the thing did not bother to explain, okay, and the list that they never show this at all, for changing his voice, because they never actually show him actually having that in his surgical mask. They talk and basically discusses the reason why he decided to kill those two policewomen. And, of course, before it gets to this, now there's a scene here that actually is in the manga, though they do make one small wording change here. Where you have the superintendent basically tell everybody there's a man killed two of our officers. Go catch him. And they actually don't have it here where he says without fail. That part they actually don't put in the anime, which I think is fine due to the fact it's not an unnecessary set of words. It's okay, they know that they need to catch him right away, and you don't need to say without fail. Yeah, cutting that out, in my opinion, was actually a pretty smart move on the part of the anime to do. It's a brief scene. Superintendent is one of two brief moments he's seen in the episode. He does show up in the post-credits, which I'll get to that. And basically, Conan figures out, though, because they mentioned that the guy, he basically was a job, he was a remodeler, and in so many places he remodeled, and basically figure out the tapping, and it's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And so they figure out, oh yeah, it's a planetarium. And they go there. Now here's a change I do like they made. I thought this was really cool part of the anime to do. You have now basically, Ano decides to set up a crossbow to sort of wound, basically, whichever police officer comes to the door. And they have Conan singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and he basically, you hear him in shadow, and he slowly comes up, and there's Conan. Now, I actually appreciate this. This is a great, dramatic, shocking thing to see in the episode. I mean, he doesn't really know much of anything, and he's like, what are you doing here, kid? And then Keba jumps right behind him and says, I brought him along. And he judo flips him, arrests him. Now, in the manga, they actually have him say the official time, which is like 10:24, I think it is. In the anime, they have him say it in the military time. I have no idea why they changed this for. It's one of the most strangest things. I mean, you can't say 10:24, but for some reason, you can say 20:24. Yeah, this is a change I thought was really weird, the fact they changed it. Instead of using the standard time, they used the military time for some reason. I have no idea why, but they did. And, of course, he reveals that he blames the police department for blocking him from getting to preventing him from preventing his girlfriend's suicide. That is initially his motive for this. And then it's revealed because of the voicemail that there was no hope for him saving his girlfriend at all. Not just because police blocked him, but because of the message, basically thanking him for being such a supportive boyfriend. And, oh yeah, and the reason why she committed suicide? Because of all the harassment she'd been suffering. That was the reason why she committed suicide. And of course, Keba basically just thanks him, just basically berates him. Now, usually this is something McGuire would do, but Keba, first time I can think of, he actually did this in the series that I can think of. He berates him for what he did, and it looks like nothing he can do, basically. And then he decides to, and he's basically about to leave. And then, lucky enough, he's tripping over a wire. Lucky enough that Miko tackles him, and the arrow crosses her leg. Now, in the manga, she basically is bare-legged. In the anime, she actually has stockings on. Yeah, this change I thought was kind of weird. I'm sure a lot of people are like, wait, okay, if you read the chapter, you can see that she's not wearing, she's bare-legged. In the anime, it's stockings. My only guess is probably because the artist does not know how to draw stockings properly. That's just my guess. He probably doesn't know how to draw them at all. So it's like, okay, keep asking, can we add stockings to her? And he's like, sure, that's perfectly fine. I have no problem with you adding stockings to her. And so, clips her leg, also cuts her stockings as well. So he ties up her wound and takes her to nearby hospital and tells her, hey, can you clean this up here? It's like, sure. And he, of course, races to the nearby hospital. And lucky enough, he finds Baka Hospital. He's about to cross the street. And then Miko stops him and basically berates him for trying to break the rules. And he realizes at that very moment, it took him a freaking long time to notice this, that Miko is his childhood sweetheart. And he says, you idiot, it's about time. Of course, she hugs him, and then they start blushing, and then Kodet's like, hey, it's your green a while ago. And then, of course, they walk calmly across the street. And then we have Yumi calling Miko's other phone, because she's got two phones. And she reveals she's actually sleeping at Sarah's middle brother's house. And then the credits, and then we come back from the credits. We have Amuro calling Koda, the superintendent, and confirming that, yeah, the information he gave Conan, that was the information he was given to him by the supervisor. And he says, don't fall behind it. And of course, good job. Make sure you don't fall behind your report, Bourbon. Yeah, of course, they actually added it here. I thought this was really cool to add this here, where they actually, from the Black Bunny case, they actually put some stock footage here of Aki and Bourbon basically pointing the guns at each other and basically seeing the Kudos. In the manga, you just see Kudos, Aki, with no gun, and then it's and that's where the episode's based for him is Bourbon. And of course, like I said, the anime basically adds some stock footage here, which great they added it here. Though I'm curious though, what exactly happened next? Yeah, that's something that I don't think even the writer of the manga has ever shown exactly what happened next. What happened after he confronted Aki? Did he talk to him? Completely unknown. It's just that they confront each other, but that's it. Episode overall, really good. Definitely looking forward to next episode, which is not coming out next week. Nope, the next episode doesn't come out until April 18th, which is 3 weeks from now. Yeah, so after a 4-parter, we have to take a 2-week break. And from what I can tell, we're going back to filler for a while. Yep, we're going back to filler. But hopefully expect to see next week a special for the series reviewing the next chapter manga, which is going to come out next Wednesday. Now, that's pretty much it for this review. I mean, I appreciate what they did with, like I said, the changes were minor. I mean, overall, they made like 2 visual changes. They made some wording changes. That's it. And of course, the other thing they added was like basically the pulling down Keba. Mostly put it's a pretty accurate adaptation of the manga chapter that this adapts from, with some minor changes here and there, which does service the anime really well. Great episode. Okay, so that's it for this particular review. My next review will be a review of the 19 Case Close film, which I'll get my thoughts on a little bit later. Yeah, I probably expect to review that probably in a little over 2. Probably not. We'll expect that. It's probably after 7 o'clock, because I'm probably watching as soon as I put this video up. And maybe if I get time, which I don't know if I get time to do this, my first review for Goblin Slayer. Yes, Goblin Slayer, okay? Here's the next video. Bye.